Hey there, Cheese Meisters, and welcome back to the Peach Pod. That would have been I Adore Mi Amor
Oh my
by
God.
Color Me Bad, which was playing when they sang in the Peach Pit at the end of the episode, when they were in the greatest video of all time. Donna, like anyone could even know that. At the
Yeah.
beginning of the episode, it was an I Adore Mi Amor fest for this episode of Color Me Bad. I am Jeff, and hey, I am a human male. And joining me on the other end of the internet, my co-host.
I'm Leslie, and if this is the real world, you can have it.
I think you were just saying something about the real world. And now here's Color Me Bad singing for Mega Burgers.
Well, I'm not getting that kind of happy ending, am I, Jeff?
Look, it's not a happy ending until the end. You don't know. You could, like,
But
Color
the
Me
end
Bad.
in this world means I die.
Well, okay, but at the end of whatever story you want to tell. And I'm just saying that particular story is not over until Color Me Bad Riker's on some chairs in front of you and sings a song.
You know, I just had a fun query in my head because I thought, man, if we lived in episodic installments.
Sure.
I mean, it sounds exhausting because that's basically treating every hour or every day. Like, let's treat each day as an episode. Like,
with an arc from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have no character development over the course of that day, it's a bad episode.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel personally already. So I feel like if I moved on to living episodically, like each day is just an episode of my own personal Truman Show, although
Sure.
I feel like it would need to be more exciting than the Truman Show. I don't know. It sounds like it'd be more exhausting, but I don't think it could be more exhausting than life already is.
Well, I mean, I'll say this. Yesterday was the day that you went to the Mermaid Parade.
It's true.
That's no weirder than trying to meet Color Me Bad.
You know I have to say, Coney Island felt pretty tame on the weird yesterday.
Sure. So, like, that's not an outlandish plot device. Like, yeah. And that's guys, this week we're talking about season 2, episode 26, Things to Do on a Rainy Day. This is the episode where they sneak in to meet Color Me Bad, and Donna catches Felice having an affair, and Brandon, Steve, and Dylan hire a stripper to come to their house, but Andrea cockblocks the whole thing. That's what happens in this episode. And I was thinking about the writer's room for this meeting, or for this episode, because there's these two weird things. Like, there was two different ideas going on here, right? There was, we want to do this Felice reveal, right? We want to give Donna this character moment, and we also have a chance to bring Color Me Bad on the show, I guess. You know,
so, another musical artist seeing a good opportunity to get
and
more
Color Me Bad
PR.
was huge. Like, they were big. They had like 2 number 1 and a number 2 hit in 1991. It's like they were really big. This, I Adore Mi Amor, All for Love, and I Want to Sex You Up were all massive hits. And I really, really like All for Love. Like, I really like that song. It is a bop. It's just fun from start to finish. I Want to Sex You Up is stupid. It is about aquatic narcoleptic sex that I don't understand, because they're making love until they drown.
Oh.
And until they both wake up. So I don't understand the sex that Color Me Bad is having. It sounds like it might be bad with 2 Ds. So
yeah.
Or maybe the second D stands for dangerous. I'm really not sure. But, and I lost my train of thought when we went down the rabbit hole there.
That's okay. You want to hear something really sad?
Oh, yeah.
My introduction to Color Me Bad, now that I know that they sang I Want to Sex You Up, was Glee.
Ew. All right. I don't want to bag on Glee, but...
No, we can bag on Glee.
No, I mean, I just don't want to spend my energy on that. But I mean,
Fair.
at some point, we're gonna need to talk about the Rocky Horror Picture Show episode of Glee, which is the bridgest too far that has ever bridged. That, but I don't want to get into it today. But we're gonna have to get into it at some point
I'll
because
just say that's about when I quit.
oh, it's 100% when I quit, even though I had been checked out already. That's when I hard quit.
Yeah.
But that is Prom in the Hospital.
I knew
That's when I
it. I
went.
was just thinking, is
No,
that Prom in the Hospital?
it is. Yeah. Prom in the Hospital is the Rocky Horror episode of Glee.
You don't know
Uh,
Jump the Shark. You know Prom in a Hospital.
I know. Yeah, it's the bridgest of bridges. So, but what I was gonna say about your mermaid parade is like they had these two ideas for the show, right? For this episode, and they're like, what do we do with Color Me Bad? We don't have like we could tell people we're going to a concert again, but then you got to show the concert.
Yeah.
Or it's just that weird episode where they talk about REM a lot and then don't go to see REM. But Color Me Bad's going to be in the episode. So what do we do? Well, what if the gang tries to meet him at a hotel? Well, that's a thing that they could do, I guess. I don't know how realistic it is, or like worth doing. It's real dumb, but it's a thing people do, I suppose. And that's no dumber than Mermaid Parade. It's just a thing, right? It's just a thing to do that could be the background of the hijinks that you experienced yesterday, whatever those hijinks were.
I need more ridiculous things like this, honestly. I mean, I've been to Coney Island before, but like I completely forgot that there are streets called, Mermaid Avenue, Surf, Neptune. I was like, oh, this was just built in.
Yeah. No, that place is kitsch.
Yeah.
It wasn't when it was built. It was, sort of what it is.
Like Portland. It wasn't kitsch when it was built. It certainly wasn't.
Yeah, no, it's not. But on Coney Island, it's not that the 90s are alive and well. It's that like the 1910s are alive and well.
Yeah.
And I've been to Coney Island too because I went with you.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh man, I really wish Jeff, Laura, and Leo were here.
I tell you what, though, I got tossed around in the cyclone.
Oh, I got people tried to talk me into the cyclone again, and I gave a fervent no.
Here's the thing: the cyclone's fine. It was fun. But I think you have to have two people in the seat in order to keep you from getting tossed side to side.
And that's what I hate.
The lap bar comes down and keeps you from flying out, but it doesn't keep you from going side to side. And I got tossed around because there were three of us. So I was riding solo, and it was bang, 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 bang.
I have a photo.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if I had three friends instead of just two, then it would have been okay. But I'm not as cool as Kelly or Mark or Brian or whichever other bad colorer was involved. So let's talk about the silliness of this episode.
It's great.
I love this episode so much. It is my favorite episode of season 2. Even more than the condom episode, which is hilarious because, Donna has a metaphor. But so this episode is so silly, and it's kind of the perfect encapsulation of what I love about this show, which is ridiculous shit presented as if it's not ridiculous.
Yeah, as if it's totally normal.
Yeah, everything about what happened today is very normal. Except none of it is normal. It's all bonkers. And like sneaking into the hotel, okay. It's so hard to know where to go with this.
I mean, we're going to also have to try to figure out at one point, like, how much David has spent on Donna already. Because, like, he balked at the idea. Well, and here's the thing. I understand. Vial of perfume for, what was it, $300? Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a lot. Yeah.
Fair. And for, like, we've been dating let's just leave it at, we've been dating. That's not a date. I'm sorry. I'm calling it now. I'm a simple woman. Just buy me a book. Or a bourbon. Anyway.
There you go.
But the fact that he's so willing, and then threw around like, if your plastic is good, you can get a room. Like, you've changed.
No, he has changed because, like, and not just that. There was something that I thought of in this episode, and it's totally escaping me right now. That the way David reacted to something was so much cooler in this episode, so much more knowledgeable.
And he's not even having sex yet.
No, but he David knows people now a little bit. Like, he feels like he understands. Like, he's the radio gig has given him swag.
Yeah.
And whereas, like, I mean, he always had like an outsized sense of self-confidence, like just trying to get MC Hammer to come to the prom, you know, like just calling. Like, David was always willing to be that guy.
Yeah.
But now he's like, my dad knows a guy, and I'm gonna call, hey, Freddie, hey. And Freddie click, and you know, like, no one else really thinks David has changed, but David has changed. Like, Kelly is like, introduces literally everybody else at the Peach Pit, and she's like, oh, and David Silver's here.
You know what it is, and this is so sad. It's not that he's, because, you know, people always act like sex makes you some wise person. It changes you. Like, yes, it changes you, but it doesn't mean all of a sudden you have all the answers or all the confidence. But he's seen people die.
He fucking has. Yes,
so
he has.
It's like, instead of growing up the way most people do, he's seen some shit. He's that guy who went to war and didn't get laid first.
Right. Used to be killing a man would straighten you right up. But now your MTVs and your diet sodas have a swishifying effect on the whole world, Homa.
I mean, I would not find it out of place if he just got out a cigarette and was like, listen,
That's right.
I'm a DJ.
That's right.
I scratch my back, they scratch mine.
Yeah. I would really, I mean, this is not David, but cigarette and a paper cup of coffee is like, that's who I want David to turn into, but he never will. He'll never be that guy. He'll never be that gruff of a human being.
That's my future character persona.
I like that. Me too.
Nice.
Except for I don't smoke and I don't want to smoke. But yeah. Just disheveled with a paper cup of coffee. You know? It's like my platonic ideal. It's like when I hold up the mirror of Erised, that's what I see.
Oh my God.
It's just the thing I want most is just disheveled and a paper cup of coffee.
I think my mirror of Erised is evil Kermit. And I'm like, finally.
Yeah, I can unleash.
Ascended.
So, I guess let's see what this episode is really about. What do you have? What do you think this episode is really about?
I struggled with this one because this one actually seems the most obvious, but I'll package it a little differently. Because on the one end, it seems like it's about everyone is chasing something. And I think that's something is everyone is really afraid of being bored. And I think that is really relevant to today. Because we can't even handle sitting in silence. And I don't like silence, but, you know, as I was at the beach yesterday, I had a moment of, man, I would really like to just sit here and watch the ocean for a bit, look at the sky, and just nothing else. And the only reason we couldn't is because the storm clouds were rolling in, and I was like, Midwesterner, gotta run.
And I'm dressed like a mermaid, but that don't mean I can swim like one.
I'm not impervious to lightning. But yeah, I think people are really afraid of being bored. I think kids are even, I mean, I don't know how they would have been in the 90s because I was a child, but I don't think I was nagging my parents about being bored as much as they do now.
I don't know. I was like, I'm bored a lot when I was a kid.
That's true.
And then it was basically just like, well, go do something. Like, I don't
I
know
know.
what to tell you.
My parents would be like, go read, go play in the backyard. That's why we have a backyard. Like, or if you're Mrs. Draper, Betty Draper, you go, only boring people are bored.
That's facts.
So I think this is just about people are really afraid of being bored and not being exciting and living legendary lives.
Right. Not spending your day trying to meet Color Me Bad of all bands.
Yeah, because like they all were doing stuff. I mean, they're with friends, for crying out loud. Like, can it just be that? But then they're like, no, we need to up the stakes.
Also, to what end? Like, they all just wanted to do a thing, but had no end goal in mind.
No.
Like, I mean, the guys did. Like, their end goal was see some boobies. And
they could have just ordered pay-per-view, couldn't they? Don't they have cable?
Everybody in this episode could have just ordered pay-per-view. Like, the concert at the Whiskey was going to be on pay-per-view, which is a flex for Color Me Bad, but maybe that's a thing they did.
Yeah.
That's much harder to do in 1991 than it is to do now. Like, you can just live stream whatever. But yeah, that would have been a whole flex. But literally everybody could have just today rented something, called up their cable. And they would have. Yeah. We wouldn't have had to call their cable provider. They would have just clickety-clacked. But yes, no, they could. All of this could have been avoided if everyone just wanted to sit on a couch. But that makes bad TV. Like, you got to do a thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Even if the groupie looks at you and goes, and then what?
Oh my God.
Like they had no, like, what do you do? I mean, you ask them what their favorite color is. It was bad, of course, so you don't have to ask them that. I understand that you're supposed to tell them something smart about their music and then they respect you, but then what?
That groupie's response was basically every girl's response to me in college when I told her I hadn't had sex yet. They were like, I'd be like, well, we made out and all these things. And they're like, and then what?
Right.
I'm fine with just making out.
Right. And then I came home.
It's the least stressful option.
Right. Yeah. And then, like, Steve and they hire up a woman out of the phone book, or the newspaper and the want ads, to come to their house, Brandon's house. And not the last time Steve's going to invite the wrong people over to Brandon's house. Let's just say that.
Yes.
But, I don't know. I think this is the thing that guys don't think through when they think, let's get a stripper.
Because they're not afraid for their lives. Sorry, but...
Well, no, I don't mean that. I mean, like, they don't think through what's the upside here. Like, at the end of this situation, the naked lady will be gone, and I'm just going to be sitting here with, like, two other dudes going, hey, remember when we saw a naked lady?
I know, like...
Wasn't that cool? Like, it's weird.
Yeah. Again, like you said, to what end? Right.
It's one thing, I mean, it's not like I've never gone to a strip club and not had a good time. It's fun. It's like but I only want to do that in Vegas. I don't want to do that here. Because it feels like, and here's what it is. And this is one of the things I think the episode is really about, is it's kind of gross to get to know someone before you've seen them naked. You know what I mean? Like, it's much better if they don't have a personality or, like, a history or, like, wants and dreams.
That's why people hook up on the first couple of dates.
Right. Yeah. Because, like, once you know that someone, like, farts a lot or whatever, it's like, like, all right, well, I mean, I'd still like to see you naked and whatnot, but now you're just a person instead of an object of desire,
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, so, you've had kids. Oh.
Right. Oh, and your husband's writing a surfing book? Hmm. I mean, so which of the I texted you this and you didn't respond,
Oh.
probably wisely. Which piece of information is the biggest weenie shrinker for you? Is it got a 5-year old? Is it uh, interior design school or whatever the hell she's doing? Um, like, which personal piece of information did Brandy provide that you were like, yeah, I'm not interested anymore? Like that's it for me. Brandon says I'm tapping out.
You know what's crazy? And I don't, I think, and again, I'm going to bring it to modern things because it seems like a lot of people who get fired from their day jobs for having an OnlyFans are getting fired because they're not revealing that they have some tragic life story, and people want to know. People are sick and want, they feel like in order to be a fallen woman you have to have some horrible tragic story to be there. They don't want to hear that you're happy and maybe you're
Right.
choosing to do this because you enjoy it.
Right.
Like, because she has what sounds like a pretty good life. It's just, hey, this is going to make extra money. I like
Mhm.
dancing. My husband is okay with it. Like, so, and that is what is disturbing to people, is that anyone could choose this life.
Yeah.
And the thing is, she's doing a pretty vanilla version of what people really have a problem with, which is
Very much. Yeah.
sex work and everything.
I mean, it appearances are more important than how people feel,
Mm-hmm.
says Donna Martin to Felice.
Oof.
Oh, I remember what the third thing is. Um, so yeah, 5-year-old, husband,
Husband.
Peace Corps.
Probably for the guys, it's probably. Well, actually, you're saying for me. I don't know. I'm weird. I would have, like, I bet if you had kept Andrea there, she would have been like, yes, let's watch this. I want to see you work. Like, I want to see what you do. Maybe I'll learn something.
I would have enjoyed having Andrea there for the
Yeah,
strip club, for the strip dance. That would have been very fun for me.
yeah, me too. Because that would have been me. I would have been like, wait, you're also a dancer? Oh my God, I have no sexual confidence. Can I please? Like, this is amazing. You're a working woman and you have a husband and a child and they're supportive. Like,
Right.
speechless.
Yeah. I went to a strip club once with a friend, with a female friend. It was the most fun I ever had. Well, and not from like a sexy way. It was so funny to watch her
Where did
be
you go?
uninterested. Like she was there, and we got her a lap dance, and I laughed the entire time because she just didn't give a shit. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like she was uncomfortable. It wasn't like she was excited. She was just there going, oh, this is interesting, I suppose. And when it was all over, she was like, we have proved I'm not gay because that did nothing for me at all. And it didn't do like the sexy thing for me. It just amused the hell out of me. Like I had so much fun watching her get that lap dance and just giggling at
I'd be nervous as hell. Like, I would love that, and yet I'd also be nervous as hell. We have wanted to go to a strip club for so long, but like, obviously, I'm particular, and I want to go to a place where I'm not going to hear dudes being gross. Like, I truly believe, listen,
good luck.
I know, but here's the thing, it's 2024. For crying out loud, we lived in Portland. I know there are feminist strip clubs. I've just got to find them. But also, maybe I just need to have a few drinks in me. So I'm just like, it's whatever. You're
Sure.
saying it to them and not to me. It's fine. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, but good luck going to like the grocery store and not hearing a guy be gross. You know.
Well, that's true. I mean,
So, if you just set default at wherever I go, some guy's going to be gross, then I think you're going to be okay.
yeah, I know. I just, man, every time I think that I've, you know, lost all innocence, I have a new thing that I'm like, oh no, you still hope for the best and are disappointed constantly. Like,
yeah, it's like, I don't know. Don't have any expectations. That's my thought.
Yeah.
This is whatever happens is what we're doing today. Maybe we're gonna hire a stripper. Maybe we're gonna try to meet bad.
No one was bad around me at the mermaid parade.
There you go.
So I'll go people yesterday. But then again, I didn't hear everyone. I didn't have everyone's experience.
That's right.
But I did.
But you had a good day.
I did have a good day.
Yeah.
I gave off the vibe. This was really funny. The two people I was with, both of them got asked multiple times to take photos for people. And I realized I am giving off the vibe at last that I want to give off, which is don't approach me. Because I was Gothic Mermaid and people left me alone and it was wonderful.
There you go. So they wanted other people to take their picture?
Yes. Now, some people did ask to take my picture and I was like, of course.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Of course.
Maybe, and I don't know, but maybe it just, like, were you leaning too much on your right leg all day? Because if people saw you and they were like, she looks unsteady. If we give her the camera, she's going to do this or cut our heads off. And she's probably a bad photographer. It could have been that.
Nope.
It could have been that.
I guess it could have been. I try very hard to make sure I alternate between the two since, my left knee is constantly protesting.
No, lucky you can't see far with this leg.
I know a man with a wooden leg named Smith. Really?
What's the name of his other leg?
We have gone so far off the path.
That's okay. So here's one of the things I think that this might have been about. How to fan correctly.
Oh.
Like how to be a proper fan of a thing. Because Kelly doesn't give a shit. And I think Kelly has the best day out of everybody. Like, she just slides right through it. She has a really good time. Kelly is funny in this episode in ways that she normally isn't. I was all on board for Kelly this episode.
Me too.
But she's just there because what else is she gonna do? She didn't care that much. But she has a great time. And is not there to groupie.
Yeah.
And so she looks at the groupie and she's like, well, different strokes. And the groupie is not there to nothing.
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, different strokes. And, Donna is like a huge fan. Like, Donna is a hipster Color Me Bad fan.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious. Like, I was into them before they got famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like, what a weird band to be a hipster about, but good for Donna. And everyone thinks she's kind of nuts, but they're willing to go along with it because it's raining. And like, what are you going to do when it's raining? You got to go stalk celebrities or something. But even her fandom, like, it wasn't committed enough for David.
I know.
Because he was in it. Like, David and Brenda are not fans of the band. They're fans of being fans.
Being like, close to stardom.
They wanted the experience of star fuckery.
Yeah.
It didn't even matter. It didn't matter that it was Color Me Bad.
No.
David's just in it to do it because, like, one, he wants to flex and show that he can, and impress Donna and do something nice for her and all of that stuff. But Donna is like, can't we just not? Like, I'm a little nervous about this now that we're here, and I saw my mom in the lobby, and that was all weird.
Mm-hmm.
And David's like, fuck no, we're meeting Color Me Bad. They're the best.
I know.
And so, and they all have different ways they go about this. And the only one that seems to be doing it right is the groupie. Because, like, she's there. She knows why she's there. She knows what she enjoys about this. Mm-hmm. She's seeking it out. Kelly is just like flopping along like a dead fish. Like, she had no, like, I don't know how Kelly ended up there other than like accident.
I don't don't know. I mean, it makes more sense to me how Kelly ended up there because, you know, it's just like finding love. They say once you stop looking, you find it, that kind of
Sure.
thing. And I feel like that can be applied to all manner of situations in life. But I don't know how the groupie got up there because I don't feel like it's like an Almost Famous where they're just the band-aids are allowed to be around them because they inspire the band. And also, I think I texted you this. I think band-aids have disbanded at this point, which is kind of something hinted at the end of Almost Famous.
I mean, I feel like people who are like, I feel like groupies know how to get backstage to meet the band. Like this is just a skill they've learned because this is what they want. And it's usually probably like introduce yourself to the bouncer, or there's a guy on the staff whose job it is to bring girls backstage.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And so they know whose attention to get and how to get that attention in order to get backstage. That seems to be it's like the secret menu at In-N-Out Burger, except for it's like everybody doesn't know it.
It's on Pinterest, people.
Right, exactly. It's not that secret.
No.
But it being a groupie is like knowing where the speakeasy is. Like you just know. And if you get there by accident, that's weird. But like sure it happens.
But she did the right Kelly did the right thing going for like the maid's keys, getting on the elevator and then tossing them back. I was like, well done.
No, that's very smart. The way that they navigated this experience was like David just kept being right about stuff. Like he was right about where they were staying. He was right about the manager being on and being able to get the manager's phone number, and like they're under an alias, but he's not, so let's call him. And now he had no plan, but he was right. He was right about if we get a room, they can't kick us out of the hotel because we're guests of the hotel. Like, and then he's right about the service elevators being the way to get up there. Like that's the way hotels work, everybody. Like,
but you need the key, of course.
You do, yeah. To go to like those, you don't need the key to go to every floor, but to the penthouse floors, you need the key or the badge swipe or whatever it is now.
Yeah.
But that's the way to do it. Those elevators, you'll find someone in the back hallway with a key, and if you're sneaky, maybe you can make it work. Now, there are cameras everywhere, more now than there were then. But I used to work in hotels.
Oh.
And yeah, when I did AV stuff,
okay.
I would work in hotels setting up microphones and screens and projectors and shit for events, meetings, business meetings, conferences, shit like that. So I spent a lot of time like working in the back hallways of hotels and stuff. And there are cameras. Most people are just there doing their job and they aren't paying any attention to you. They're just, they got shit to do. And at least it was true that none of those cameras were recording anything at the hotels I was at. You could watch them, like somebody was watching, so you could be seen like in real time. But most of those cameras weren't recording anything. So
wow.
Yep. If you get by, you don't even have to do that thing where you loop the video so that the bad guy thinks that you're like they're watching a live feed, but they're really not. I saw that in a movie once where Keanu Reeves was on a bus and the bus was speeding along at 55 miles an hour. And if the speed of the bus dropped too low, then the bus would blow up. I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down.
Oh my God. I need to rewatch that because I think about that all the time now. And I'm like, I don't remember how they were able to do the loop thing. Or I don't remember, and don't tell me because, I mean, it's not a bad movie. Like, would love it.
It's kind of a bad movie, but
it has good people in it. I'm willing to forgive it. Or maybe I'll just look up that one point on YouTube. That's what I'll do.
There you go. And I was stealing from Homer Simpson. That was a Homer.
Oh.
Joke. Yeah. And then Homer loops video, which is hilarious. And like, like in one part of it, he's asleep and there's no one in the room. And then the next part of it, like Lenny and Carl are dancing behind him. And like one of the videos is from the 70s and the other is from like yesterday. And
yeah,
so it's a bad loop.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but you don't even have to do that. You can just walk around. It's fine. I don't recommend it. Don't do it now. But
yeah,
I don't want anybody to get in trouble.
No.
But like David has it figured out. Like he knows how to work this system, and knowing how to work a system is not something David has known heretofore.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. All right. How about this? Brenda got over that quickly.
What do you mean that?
I mean the fact that she was held at gunpoint last week.
Oh, good God, you're right. I mean, this is why you can't do things in 45 minutes, because it gives you this. I mean, did we learn nothing from last week? That your brain that you're never safe from trauma. Like,
right.
Your brain will find a way to remind you of something,
Mm-hmm.
And if you're lucky, it's going to be, hey, remember that time when this asshole said this thing to you and you had nothing to say back? And here's the perfect comeback now. Like,
right. Yeah. That's the jerk store.
Like,
yeah.
If you're lucky, that's it. But
right.
And it's similar to what happened after Scott died. I mean, they went to a rave.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no mention of Scott. I mean, yeah, David is getting drunk, and it's probably because of, seeing my buddy die right in front of me. Yeah, I mean, I get why they have to move on, but all it takes is a few lines of like, "Hey, Brenda, how you doing?" Like, "Oh, well, I'm still seeing my therapist. Still occasionally seeing this guy hold a gun up to my face, but
it's fine." I mean, and maybe this is, maybe it's more fuel for your idea that every day should be an episode.
Yeah,
and that at the end of the episode, you only remember the parts of it that feel like they're germane to the circumstance you're in now.
yeah.
Because they totally forgot about Brenda being almost killed last week.
Mm-hmm.
But they did remember that they won skydiving tickets on a radio contest.
Uh-huh.
And Donna did remember how Felice was all abstinence only at the condom event, which, by the way, one more for condoms.
Oh,
on the board.
They didn't even. I totally mentioned them missing it. Whoops.
They said it. Yeah. And then Cindy remembers Glenn. So everybody remembers things in this episode that happened to them previously, just not all the things. And maybe that's healthier. Maybe like what you remember today about the mermaid situation yesterday is the stuff that you just talked about, about like being a crooked photographer or whatever. You said that, right? Not me? That was
you just said made me instantly go to jam tomorrow, jam yesterday, but never jam today.
Nope.
Because it's bonkers. And if anyone is wondering, the condoms versus ice cream tally is currently 21 condoms to 10 ice cream.
Ice cream is getting the shit kicked out of it.
I mean, when you have... someone needs to go work at an ice cream parlor, I guess.
I was really surprised. Oh, no, wait. Donna ordered a milkshake.
No, I know. I added that in already.
Oh, you got that. Okay, so there's both. Because there was I was like, why aren't they eating ice cream in Casa Walsh kitchen? Like, why isn't that the way this is being addressed?
Because Brenda keeps eating them out of house and home of ice cream, which I guess that's why she's working out a ton, which... Not that she needs to, but, we all know how our minds work. Like, oh, if I'm eating bad stuff, I got to work it off.
Mm-hmm. Sure you do.
Live your life.
Work it in. Work it right in the mouth.
Or be like me and have digestive issues and have to get frozen yogurt.
Yeah, Frogurt. Frogurt like a motherfucker. Okay, here's something else this might have been about. This has got to be like a top 10 weird day for Jim Walsh.
That's why they break out into "'Tis a gift to be simple."
To be simple, 'tis a gift to be free. So Jim starts the rainy ass day being dragged to the museum to watch an exhibit on Shaker furniture. And he is psyched. Like, Jim is like, we're on this Shaker shit. Let's go. And then, like, comes home, shakered the fuck out, and meets a stripper in his living room who lies to him about being his wife's niece?
Cousin.
Or cousin? Well, at that time, but earlier she was the niece.
Oh!
Yeah, like, she totally fucked up her own alibi.
She's got a lot on her mind.
Yeah. I felt like Axel Foley, you fucked up a perfectly good lie. Like, he would believe in the super cop story, and you just fucked it up. So, like, Brandy just screws that whole thing all the way up. And so Jim is like, I came from Shakers to this. All right, that's weird. And then he goes in the kitchen, and Brenda is like, hey, remember that lady who was here like a month ago shouting about condoms and abstinence and whatnot? She's sleeping with Bob from accounting, and Donna just saw it. And Jim's like, what the fuck is happening today?
Brenda is always spilling other people's tea.
She really is. Yeah.
My God. Like, I get it. Again, it's the Brenda wanting attention, I guess. Although this seems more in line with a teen than, like, having a cancer scare.
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, it's a weird day.
It is. And then he has to, like, go upstairs and talk to his kids in the bathroom about how square he and his wife are for not being divorced. And then he's like, then he gives Brandy's business card back.
It says, remind me to tell you about my bachelor party.
Yeah. So, also, when he says that, do you notice that his line is dubbed in? His mouth says something different than in 2 years.
Oh, no.
Yeah. His mouth says, remind me to tell you about my bachelor party. Like something else. And they shoved 2 years in there. Like, remind me to tell you in 2 years about my bachelor party. And he says something totally different, and I don't know what it is. I couldn't make it out.
Because for some reason they thought, oh, we can't have you tell him this while he's underage. That's inappropriate. Like, your son just...
maybe...
Your son
maybe
just ordered
tomorrow or something.
I don't know.
Remind me to tell you tomorrow about my bachelor party. What? Just when we're not in the bathroom, when it's not weird.
Can't say it in front of Brenda.
Yeah.
She doesn't know anything.
And then, like, other people had, like, so, and also Jim is in his kitchen, and Donna is like, you guys are so normal. Your family never changes. And Jim's like, wait till she tells you about Glenn.
Yeah.
Because shit changes around here, bitch. This ain't cool. But he has to, like, roll it up in the Jim Walsh face and be like, things change. Things change.
I love him.
And just catching stray bullets in the kitchen. It is a weird day for Jim Walsh, and no one cares. No one is going up to Jim saying, "Man, this was a boomerang back and forth for you today, man. I'm sorry." And it's tough to be the dad sometimes, I think.
That's why he does.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Jim is the most, what are you going to do?
I'm a dad on a teen drama. It's paycheck.
Yeah. It's things going on in this kitchen I don't want any part of.
I'm manifesting this for me now. If I'm not the Luke Perry on a teen drama in, so many years, like, you know what? I'll just take the paycheck of being a parent on a teen drama. It's fine.
Luke Perry was the parent on a teen drama. So, we all go back to where
he was also the kid on a teen drama when he could have been the parent.
He could have been the parent. Yeah. Also, one last thing that I think that this episode was really about is it was a very clear meta commentary on the experience that the cast was having at that point in time,
which I did not even think about, but makes sense.
They were huge, like, and they literally couldn't go to a mall because, like, there have been, I've heard multiple times people tell stories about how they went to a mall and got mobbed,
like Robin Sparkles.
I don't know who Robin Sparkles is.
How I Met Your Mother?
No, I told you I didn't watch that show.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
this is why you're happier than I am.
It didn't hit for me. It was one of those things where I could always tell what the joke was going to be about 30 seconds before the joke got there. And that always bores me. I felt that way about that 70s show too. It didn't work for me.
Brief digression. I don't know what upsets a generation of TV watchers more. The ending of How I Met Your Mother or the ending of Game of Thrones. And I just made a lot of people yell, and I'm glad.
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched Game of Thrones. I didn't think the ending was awesome. I heard about the ending of How I Met Your Mother and how people got upset about it, and I'm sorry for you guys.
Again, that's why I say you're happier than me, because you spared yourself.
Yeah. I mean, TV shows end.
Terribly.
And none of them end as good as Newhart, but that's for later, I suppose. But yeah, just having Kelly sit there and say, what's it like to have fans? And even and back to the first thing the episode was about, like how to fan correctly, where the guys were like, we love our fans, because of course you have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
And, but when they come rushing at you, it's a little freaky. And I kind of feel like maybe that was the writers of the episode telling the audience to calm the fuck down when Jenny Garth goes to the mall.
Yeah. Thing.
Like, it's a little rough when everyone runs at us all crazed. Like, we don't know who you people are. You're a little bit obsessive about us. And we like a little bit of that, but some of you guys are too much.
You could add to that, like, no one wants to hear the truth, or no one wants to hear famous people gripe, unfortunately.
Sure.
And I totally include myself in that, because, like, all the time I'm like, you know what, Taylor Swift, like with the prophecy, give me your problems, even though, like, no, I'm glad that I have a loving partner and happy in that regard. But, like, would I love to have your rich people problems? Absolutely. Until I don't anymore, and then I'm missing this weird existence of invisibility. So
everybody has problems.
Grass is always greener, as my mom says, as many people say.
And I don't. I told you, the grass is never greener on the other side. It's just that the piles of shit are in different places. Like you're used to stepping in this pile of shit, and you look over there, and there's no shit there. That's greener grass. And then you go over there, and you take like 3 steps to the left, and you step in some shit you didn't expect.
Yeah.
So, and then look over the next fence, and there's no shit in that spot, so it must be better over there. But there's shit's in a different place, and there's just shit everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes you need new shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sometimes this shit is too much and you need different shit. So go climb that fence. Just understand that there's going to be shit there too.
All right.
Words of wisdom.
I love it.
Edict.
No.
I don't remember what I put an edict on last time, but I created that, and now I'm just going to.
Oh, you said edict. I thought you said eat it, and I'm like, it's shit.
No.
Why would I want to?
No, don't eat the shit. No, that's bad. No, that's a Jeff edict. Boom. Stamp.
Oh, yes, because you were doing it like on John Oliver.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
We need the stamp, and we need that guy.
We do. Okay, so what did this make you nostalgic for?
It made me nostalgic for burning mixed CDs for friends. That was my favorite gift from new friends, and then learning how to do it. Oh my god! Because as you know, I'm not great with technology. It is the bane of my existence since I have evicted math from my daily life. From my day, like, and I mean that in terms of I don't have math class to stress me out anymore. So what's the new thing? It's tech.
Got it.
So, and I'm always something I wish I had learned, but I missed out because I was too young. I'm always like, how did you all make mixtapes? And I know now, people tell me all the time, you just waited for a song and then recorded it. But I'm like, no, I need to know the buttons. I need to see this done.
Yeah, you would do record, play, pause at the same time. And then when the song started, you undid pause.
Amazing.
Yep. I recorded a lot of stuff off the radio. And what you really hated was DJs who talked up the song.
Oh, I bet.
Because you want that clean recording for your mixtape, and instead of getting like the entirety of Freedom 90 by George Michael, you get like a whole talk up to post, and then it's like, that ruined the beginning of the song. So now every time I hear this song, I have to think of this guy.
Yeah.
Talking about what was going on at the car wash down the street, in his live appearance tomorrow.
I'll say probably, well, I don't know if I can say with absolute clarity that this is the one up for mixed CDs versus mixtapes, because I never made mixtapes or got them. But I loved how you could always, you got to see different people's creativity, both on like the list they made you, and then like how they decorated the CD or the case. Like I had one friend who put in a lyric from every single song on there on the cover. Yeah, I miss those days.
Nice. That's nice. I like that too. I think what this made me nostalgic for is winning radio contests.
Is that something you did?
Yeah, a couple times. Always call it in kind of things like this. Like it was always a trivia thing. And usually it was like a sound bite or a clip from a movie. I won 2 different call-ins to 2 different stations in 2 different cities years apart from different clips from the movie Roxanne.
Of course you did.
Yeah. There was one where they played there's a scene where Steve Martin comes out of the diner and he buys a newspaper in one of the little boxes, opens it up, reads it, screams, puts money in the box, opens it, and puts the paper back. And so they played that, and I recognized that scream and called in and won the prize, which was like an evening cruise on the Ohio for whatever, but I was like 13, so I couldn't win. So like my mom and dad won. I don't know if they ever even won.
Wow.
And I won a tape out of a prize closet for a different thing. And then there was another Roxanne quote when I was at IU, and I called into the radio station, and I had such fear because they played whatever the clip was, and I wish I remembered. I don't, but it was Roxanne. So I called in, and I wasn't 100% sure what radio station we were listening to.
Oh no!
And because I didn't put it on, like we were in the duty office at Reed, and it was just on, and I was like, shit, and I was like, I know they're gonna ask. So they're like, what station wins you the prizes or whatever the fucking thing is, and I was like, fuck, I hope I say the right station. I was real nervous about it, and but I wasn't nervous about the answer because I knew I was right. So when I got through and they were like, that's right, I'm like, yeah. Like,
I know.
I didn't react in the yeah, I won the t-shirt or whatever prize they were giving away. I wasn't excited that I won because I knew I won. I was like, yeah, I know. I told you. You asked me what the question was. I gave you the answer. I know it's right. I wouldn't have called and just told you wrong shit like that. So like I clearly disappointed the DJ in my lack of enthusiasm for having won whatever I won.
Oh no!
But I legit was like, what station are you listening to? But I did get it right. I didn't screw that up. But I was legit worried that I was going to say the wrong station. So, yeah.
Okay, so I have a quick anecdote to go with that, of course, because I just remembered Walter won. He called into a radio show last year and won us a trip to Florida at a timeshare. But of course, we had to. Yep. Most stressful. It should have been 90 minutes, but because we put up a fight, it was, I think, 100 minutes. People don't ever do this.
I've heard nothing but bad things.
Even, granted, all we had to pay for was the flight. We got to enjoy free stay. Mm-hmm. We got to enjoy some amenities. We got to leave town. We got to leave the city, so grateful for that. But And we got a $50 gift card out of it. However, most stressful 100 minutes on a vacation ever.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And I'm good.
And we won. The funny thing is we won 2 trips out of it, and because I couldn't handle going through that again, I was like, yeah, it's not happening. I'm not going. Nope.
Yep. I realize as we get into the only possible answer for the Steve Sanders Memorial Worst Person of the episode, it's Felice.
Yeah.
She fucking sucks. That we barely talked about the Felice and Donna of it all.
Because I still haven't forgiven Felice for the last time we saw her. And I don't know. I just felt like she was on some bullshit this episode. Like it's really difficult because I want to be open-minded to people and their circumstances, as long as that person's not Felice.
Felice, look, you're never gonna see Felice and go, I feel better now.
Oh, I know.
And you're also not gonna see Felice and not feel good about seeing her because of what she did in the last episode.
Great.
Yeah, she's only ever objectionable.
That's
like,
I feel bad for that actor.
I can't think of a single decent thing Felice does. Maybe that's the goal for the rest of the show, is to find the humanity in Felice. But I feel like I don't know that you're ever going to do it.
No, they came in too strong with her to be like, abstinence is the only way. Prove it. Oh, you did it. You failed.
Yeah. And Bob from accounting or whatever, you're just going at it in the hallway.
Oh my God, it's always Bob. It was Bob on Dawson's Creek.
I don't know if it was Bob. I don't know if they said his name.
I really want it to be Bob.
Dude seems like a Bob. So
because then he's going to leave 90210 and then move and become a news anchor in Connecticut.
Who played Bob
on Dawson's Creek? I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Some nondescript white guy. I don't know. But
he went to become a guy in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, a news anchor.
Shouts to Bob.
And then screws Mrs. Leary.
Mm-hmm.
That almost destroys their family.
Look, I'm not gonna. Mrs. Leary was all right. That's all I'm saying.
Terrible hair that first season, but hey.
Not mad at Bob. Not mad at Bob for that. So what do you think about Donna finally getting a problem?
Oh, man. It's such a terrible problem for a kid. Catching your parents. One, seeing your parents in any kind of dysfunction is tough as a kid.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know if that's a typical teen problem or not, because I mean, most of my friends when I was in middle school at Clarksville, a lot of my friends had divorced parents. And for whatever reason. So it's clearly common, and it's clearly something that probably many kids have. I don't know if they've caught their parents or not, but that's a terrible thing. And but I also, I don't know. I'm just not interested in judging people for cheating, because there are so many reasons people cheat and so many different ways people cheat. Of course it's awful, but I don't know. There's so many worse things out there right now. And it's just not the area I want to judge people. So
yeah. Hypocrisy, on the other hand.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that was what was so tough. Felice at least was having a conversation with Donna, which I don't think she would have bothered to do the last episode. It felt like two different people.
No, that's just Felice. She's just
a hypocrite.
Felice is about herself. Yeah, it's do as I say, not as I do with Felice.
Oof.
Also, not for nothing, but Felice turns out to be kind of racist, and that sucks too.
Oh my
So
God.
no, she's awful. She's kind of worse than Steve. He's just in the show more.
See, in that, yeah, like, so I hate that Donna has problems now. It was going to happen, of course, but aside from problems, I love how her and David's relationship just continues to get stronger. It's so sweet. Their intimacy is so cute.
The way that he puts his arm around her when they're leaving the hotel lobby, and she puts her head on his shoulder, like that was very genuine and natural.
And like, doesn't get bothered at all that she's crushing on people in this band. You know, and like the way they curled up together at the very end of the episode, the way he came in and was like, "Do you need saving?"
Right.
Dream. Teenage Leslie's heart would have burst out of her chest.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you can save me from here?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Oh, trapdoor. I like the trapdoor. Yeah. I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I can't. It's really hard for me to experience, like, when Donna is like, "Sorry, I don't have any problems." I'm like, I know all the problems you're gonna have.
Oh.
So I don't like. I don't live in her having no problems. I remember this is her first big problem, and I remember her lamenting now twice that she had no problems. And here you go, welcome to problem land.
Well, and I feel like there are problems, but when your parents are telling you you have a good life, you have no reason. Like, what do you have to be upset about? And if you hear that a lot, you get convinced, well, of course I have no problems. Like, oh, my life is pretty easy. Until years later, when you're in your 30s, and you're like, these were problems. I'm not talking from personal experience.
No, that did not. The word screed never entered my mind. Never occurred to me. Didn't think it for a second.
So, again, I don't think Felice was written true to nature. Because
I mean, I don't know. There's some shitty people out there.
I mean, yes, no, there are, and I mean, there are some shitty people that will confuse you and manipulate you into feeling safe, and that they. I'm not saying she doesn't love Donna, but I don't think she loves Donna in a way that Donna needs to be loved.
I'm not sure Felice loves anybody in the way that anybody needs to be loved.
Okay.
She is just Felice-centric. It feels to me. So, but also, Donna's right. She cares very much about public opinion.
Yeah, and there are those. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks when your parents care more about looks than feelings.
Yeah, it ain't good.
No.
It's bad news bears. All right. I think we did it.
We did.
All right. So, join us here on Friday, Cheesemeisters, when we're going to see what it's like to be a real band, a big band, a huge band on tour. This is Spinal Tap.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait to watch Spinal Tap again. You have not seen this, am I correct?
No, I can't wait. I've been wanting to watch it.
Oh, it's so good. It's infinitely quotable, but in a very different way than like Fletch and Ghostbusters. So
but Mr. Green is in it.
Yeah, yes, he is. It's wonderful. Yeah. So we'll be here to discuss Spinal Tap with you guys on Friday, and next week join us for season 2, episode 27, Mexican Standoff, which you've already read the synopsis for, and we're baffled by. So I can't wait.
I'm so afraid. Afraid.
We're 2 episodes from the end of the season, so we're ratcheting things up. Shit's about to go down.
It's so true.
Yeah, no, some drama is about to happen.
What do you have me watching?
I'm having you watching a show that one week has condoms in schools. The next week, a deep exploration of cardio funk and karaoke. The next week, the malls taking out local businesses. The next week, chasing down a pop band. And the next week, standing off around some Mexicans or whatever that means, the Mexican standoff. No, it's a wild ride, this program.
So does that mean we can watch Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Because I know Bolivians aren't Mexicans, but it's a standoff.
It is a standoff. I don't know how much sense that makes. We'll have to see after we watch the episode. You tell me if Butch and Sundance is the way to go with this thing.
I will.
Yeah, but we'll find out. But until then, Cheesemeisters.
Bye.
Bye.